our people will perish. We also know that the Latin meaning of the word doctor is teacher. And your doctor's job is to teach, reach, and inspire and motivate you to get that knowledge and wisdom and to change your life and the life of your family. And what if I told you that the majority of the things that you learned about health, about healing, about wellness was wrong or maybe even a lie? Hi, my name is Dr. Eric Nepute, and I've dedicated my life to helping people get to the root cause of their problems and end human suffering. And I've really gone about this in a very non-conventional way. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. Ever since I was a child, I've always wanted to be a physician. I've always wanted to help people solve their problems. But when I started my conventional medical training, it just didn't answer the question, why? And that's where my outside of the box, non-conventional health and wellness training started. You see, not only am I a primary care provider, but I also have a doctorate in natural medicine, a doctorate in chiropractic, a fellowship in functional neurology, a fellowship in internal health. I'm a certified athletic trainer. I've got a master's in clinical nutrition and 3 bachelor's degrees in human anatomy, sports medicine, and chemistry. And I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I think and act differently because of that. Not only do I have a very diverse educational background, but my business background is very unique as well. I've owned and operated over 30 of my own health and wellness centers that are fully integrated practices where people would come from all over the world to be seen. I've owned and operated surgical centers across the United States. I've been a part owner of a nutraceutical company. I've owned part of a hospital system. I've been involved with pharmaceutical biological companies. I've helped train thousands of doctors across the globe on how to get to the root cause of chronic illness. And as of recently, I've been honored to be a part of the Make America Healthy Again campaign, where Secretary of Health and Human Services Bobby Kennedy Jr. has asked me to be a part of the movement to help eradicate chronic illness and childhood illness across the globe. I've also testified in front of Congress at a federal and state level to help improve policies and remove some of the unnecessary regulations so that people can actually get to the root cause of their problems and not just manage the diseases. And over the past 2 decades, I've dedicated my life to understanding the human body at its most fundamental level. I've always been driven by one mission, and that's to find the root cause of health issues, not just treat the symptoms. Now, let me ask you this. Have you or anyone you know ever struggled with fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, hormonal imbalances, digestive issues, leaky gut problems, chronic pain, low libido, anxiety, mood swings, autoimmune disorders, hypertension, heart disease, or liver and kidney issues? I know the list is long, but what if I told you there was a company backed by real science and real results that can help you with all of these issues and much more? Welcome to Biolimitless. I've seen firsthand how powerful the right approach can be, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about with Biolimitless. Because the more you understand about how you are and how your body works, the better you can help yourself and help your family. Because self-care is the real healthcare, and it begins with understanding about you. At Biolimitless, we offer unique technologies backed by research and designed to help tens of thousands of people get better every single day. Let me tell you a little bit about some of the products and how they work. Let's first talk about our cellular reset formula. Cellular Reset is not like any typical metabolic or performance supplement on the market. It's a peptide-based bioregulator formula designed to work at a cellular level by combining strategic peptides in a specific manner in order to improve mitochondria, improve cellular repair, and improve metabolism. Some of the amazing results that you're going to have with that is rapid fat loss. We're going to shift your body from a sugar burner to a fat burner without losing muscle mass. In fact, our peptide blend has an exercise in a bottle in it where it literally mimics exercise and helps your body build muscle while burning fat at the same time and helping systemically reduce inflammation, which accelerates tissue recovery and improves endurance, helping your body rest, recharge, and operate at its full biologic potential. Now let's talk a little bit about our cell signals formula. This is a revolutionary bioregulator formula designed to optimize cellular communication and restore cellular efficiency, supporting energy, performance, and systemic balance in the human body. Listen, as we age, the production of key cell signaling molecules decline, dropping by 90% or more by the age of 30. This disrupts our cells' ability to vibrate at a frequency for energy production, detoxification, and repair. And these changes contribute to fatigue, brain fog, slower recovery, and other age-related challenges. Cell signal combines bioavailable nutrients to offset those issues and help restore optimal performance to the human body. Now, I'm sure many of you know that we're living in an era where anxiety, depression, insomnia, and mental illness are off the charts and rising. Our Neural Reboot formula is a potent tripeptide bioregulator formula designed to help rewire brain function, refire metabolic processes, and reboot cellular regeneration. This advanced blend of peptides works synergistically to restore balance at a cellular level, helping you think clearer, feel stronger, and perform at your best. This formula helps cellular renewal restoration, helps metabolic activation, cognitive function optimization. It connects the brain-gut axis, which helps maintain the communication between the neurotransmitters of your gut and your brain, and it helps with cellular vitality and is the key to longevity. Now, since we're speaking of the brain-gut connection, let me tell you about one of my favorite formulas, our Master Microbiotic Formula. It is a clinically validated bioregulator formula designed to optimize gut health and recolonize the microbiome with potent spore-based master microbes and is supported by gut-healing regenerative peptide known as BPC-157, the healing peptide. Utilizing our patented phytomicroencapsulation technology, this formula delivers beneficial probiotics directly into the small intestine where we need them the most. This formula helps restore gut health, boost immune system, and enhances overall well-being in the human body. Now, in our increasingly toxic world, we are bombarded with harmful substances every single day, from heavy metals to microplastics to pesticides, herbicides, larvicides, fungicides, all these chemical toxins that make us toxic. Over 90% of Americans have detectable levels of harmful chemicals in their body that is literally killing them. Our Detox Pro Plus formula is built to combat this toxic burden and support natural detoxification in a safe, daily usable formula, scientifically backed with ingredients that bind and remove toxins while restoring balance at a cellular, genetic, and microbial level. This advanced blend also supports mitochondrial function, healthy inflammation markers, and promotes gut and liver detoxification processes. By targeting the root cause of toxic accumulation, Detox Pro Plus helps restore energy, strengthen immune function, and revitalize overall well-being while empowering the human body to function properly. Now, unlike most healthcare experts at BioLimitless, we test, we don't guess. Now, I'm not here to discredit traditional healthcare, but if you've been searching for a better way, one that understands how your body works at a genetic and a cellular level, then BioLimitless is the answer. At BioLimitless, we know that true health starts within you. You have the power to transform your life, but it has to start with you. Self-care reimagined begins with you understanding more about yourself. Our BioLimitless DNA Discovery Kit measures over 800,000 genetic markers in your body and gives you the map and the blueprint how to live your life. If you don't understand how to live your genetic lifestyle, I don't care what vitamins, minerals, and supplements you take, you're not optimizing your production. What if there was a test that you could take from home that could measure how you should sleep, how you should exercise, what supplements you should have, when you should take them, what types of injuries your body's prone to, and much, much more. This test by itself has been an absolute game changer for thousands of my patients, and it'll be a game changer for you as well. At BioLimitless, we know that health starts from within. You have the power to transform your health, but it has to start with you. So let's get started today. Go to the link below, explore the products, and join the thousands who have found a better path to health with BioLimitless. Click the link, take control of your health, and transform your life, because self-care is the real healthcare. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hey, everybody, Dr. Eric Nepute here. Hope you're having a great day wherever in the world you are. Happy Saturday morning. It is a beautiful day in St. Louis, Missouri. We have a very exciting day. I'm in one of my offices here in St. Louis. We're getting ready to have a becoming biolimitless experience. We have people that literally fly in from all over the country, and they get to come into our office and experience something that no one's ever experienced before. It's like really finding the root cause of their problems, right? Like this whole test, not guess philosophy that you hear, and this whole idea of finding the root cause of people's problems. That's what we do. That's what we do on a daily basis. And I love getting online with our global community and sharing these conversations with you all as well. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's great to see you guys. Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Today is our AMA. I am here to answer your questions and here to serve this amazing community. I got to tell you, we are in a very exciting time right now in the health and wellness space. Last night, I was giving a lecture and we were talking about, the amazing things that we're seeing happen right now. I mean, let me just tell you something. We're now able to vocalize and talk about the technologies, the treatments, the protocols that we as true root cause practitioners have been using for decades to help people with all the scary stuff that's out there. Because before, and by the way, censorship is still high. That's why I need you guys to share this video, because the truth will set people free. And common sense solutions are there to common problems that you're dealing with. Let me tell you that there are solutions for autoimmune issues. There are solutions for the big C scary word that you hear about. There are solutions for neurocognitive decline. There are solutions to all kinds of things that are out there that you don't know because it's been gate kept against you. And there are some really simple, basic, fundamental protocols that we talk about all the time with our biolimitless community all across the globe, helping you get to the root of your problems and giving you true solutions to help yourself. Because, folks, one thing that you've got to understand is that self-care is the real healthcare. How many of y'all know that no one's coming to save you? Your doctor's not going to save you. Your insurance company's not going to save you. Your politicians sure as hell aren't going to save you. And your hospitals aren't going to save you. Now, listen, don't get me wrong, folks. Miracles happen every day in emergency room situations. We have amazing medicine that helps save people's lives, and it's awesome. It's so amazing. But I'm going to tell you, we suck with a capital S at getting to the root cause of problems. Do you know that the system that you primarily participate in is called the managed care system? How many of y'all know that I don't want to manage my diabetes? I don't want to manage my high blood pressure. I don't want to manage my pain. I don't want to manage my other scary autonomic words and the big C word. I don't want to manage that. I want to reverse those things. And when doctors, your conventional doctors, hear and see doctors like myself that have the receipts that shows people can do this, they get very self-conscious, they get very defensive, and they get very offended because they've been sold a lie as well that they're the only answer. So, folks, I'm excited to be with you today. Type in the chat where you're watching from. Put your questions in. Let's get some conversations going. We always have a great time with these. So let's get a little roll call here. Tammy, good morning this morning in Wisconsin. Sharon and Eddie, God bless you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Great to see you guys. Miss Donna, good morning. You and John, good to see you guys. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Donda says, hey, Dr. Eric, I finished my liver cleanse this morning. Shoo, I need a t-shirt. Says I survived it. Hey, let us know. Like, did you see a lot of goodies come out of your body? Because I'm telling you, those gallstones and everything comes out is amazing. Jessica says, no sound all of a sudden. Anyone else have that issue? I'm telling you, censorship is real. Please share this. Share the heck out of it. Type some comment below. Type in a word. Put your thumbs up. Do something. Let's break this sneaking algorithm. The devil doesn't want us getting together, but I'm telling you, magic happens when it does. So hit that share button. Hey, Christy, good morning this morning. Tell Jack I said hello. Great to see you guys. Sven, hello in Norway. Happy Saturday, brother. Hope you're doing well in Norway. Ben, good morning this morning down in Arkansas. Brother, let me tell you, I had such a blast having a conversation with your family. Your mom and dad are amazing people. So love and appreciation to you guys. Hope you all are doing well. Beverly, good morning this morning in New Mexico. Katie, one of my favorite people down in California. God bless you, sister. Hope you're doing well. Susan, good morning this morning. Great to see you. Appreciate you, young lady. It was great seeing you the other day. Dr. Christine, good morning. Good morning. Andrea, good morning, sister. Great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going well, you guys. Have a fantastic day, Ben says. All right, Stacy, good morning. I'll circle back and talk about osteoporosis. It's not difficult to fix. Okay, we'll talk about
We'll talk about all that. Tanya, good morning this morning. Tammy, good morning in Canada. Miss Ann, good morning this morning. Miss Ann, Cheryl in Colorado. God bless you, sister. Hope you're having a blessed day. Monica, hello in Norway. I guess good afternoon maybe for Norway. Ann, hello in PA. Good to see you. Kim, what's going on down in Houston? Good to see you. Trisha, good morning this morning. Down at the Lake of the Ozarks. Curious about my thoughts on low-dose naltrexone for autoimmune dysfunction. I'll circle back on that. I will tell you I have a love-hate relationship with it. I will tell you that there are some benefits, but there are other things that can be done. Low-dose naltrexone is used. It's probably one of the most safer, if you will, therapeutics that most general practitioners use because they don't have any other tools to help get your nervous system balanced. I'm telling you right now, your autoimmune issues are coming from your gut, your brain, and your liver. We fix those and the autoimmune goes away. Lisa, good morning this morning. Good to see you. Tanya, hello in Union. Julie, good morning this morning in Tennessee. Hello, Tammy. Hope you're doing well. What can be done for a torn labrum? I'll circle back and answer that. But platelet-rich plasma and exercises are so important. Donda, look at you, sister. Donda is down 17 lbs. Congratulations, Donda. Let me just take a little picture of that. That's good stuff. Donda is down 17 pounds since starting the triple stack, eating an anti-inflammatory diet. She's doing intermittent fasting. She's got 10 pounds to go. Congratulations, Donda. Everybody give Donda a little shout out. Congratulations on that. That is freaking awesome. Great. Vicky, good morning this morning, young lady. Hope you're doing well. Dorothy, good morning in Western Lanas. Okay. Great to see you. Great to see you. Thanks for coming. Tammy, good morning. That's because I don't know where Lanas is. I have to look that up. Sorry. Sandy, good morning. Great to see you. Dorothy, good morning. Hope you guys are well. Jenny, good morning this morning, Miss Jenny. Hey, Baldy, good morning. I see you there. It's great to see you guys. Listen, type in the chat where you guys are watching from. I'll do my best to give you a shout out. Betty, good morning. Great to see you. Joyce, good morning this morning, young lady. Hope you're doing well. Why does my stomach growl a lot? What does that mean? Well, it means you're digesting a lot of times or you've got some gas. She says, I've been fasting a bit. There's a lot of things. We can circle back on that. Tina, good morning from South Carolina. Hope you're doing well. Baldy, good morning. Appreciate you from Valhalla, Australia. Namaste. Hope you're doing great. Appreciate you guys down under as well. Does stevia affect insulin? No. Let me tell you something. Okay. This is a great question. All right. So I'm drinking another one of my yerba mate teas right now. You guys know I love those things. So look, by the way, type your questions in the chat. Let's get into this. All right. Let's start getting questions going. Christy. So here's what I'm going to tell you about stevia. First of all, everybody's body's uniquely different. If you really want to know what your body does with insulin and glucose, you really should get a continuous glucose monitor and wear it for like a week. Challenge yourself with different foods. See how your body responds to it. Wear it 24 hours a day so you can see when your sugars spike and drop. It really gives you a really great roadmap of like what's going on from a metabolic standpoint and what certain foods can and cannot cause insulin spikes. Because folks, I'm telling you, insulin spikes. Well, here, I'm actually lecturing on this later today. Let me just share something with you. I'll just share this with you. I'm a fantastic artist and I've got doctor handwriting. But look, I'm teaching a group today of the 8 common causes, of disease. There's 8 causes. I'll share this with you right now. There's 8 primary causes of disease, of disconnection that leads to disease. And look at the top of my list, insulin resistance. If you can control your insulin, you can control everything. Somebody type insulin in the chat. Insulin. Somebody do me a favor, type insulin in the chat. So here's the deal. Stevia. Some people do not do well with stevia, okay? It can cause an overexcitation in some folks, but here's why most people get upset with stevia. Stevia is a natural herb. It can disrupt and destroy something called a biofilm. Does anybody know what a biofilm? biofilme, biofilm. Somebody type biofilm in the chat and I'll talk about biofilm. So a biofilm, here's the deal with a biofilm. So a biofilm is a protective mucus mechanism membrane that bugs, parasites, bacteria, they put out. It's a protective mechanism. It's almost like a little force field. That mucus you get in your sinuses, your chest, your bowels, that's a biofilm. You wake up in the morning and you got this like mucusy and your tongue's all jacked up with all kinds of crusties on it. That's a biofilm, okay? from abnormal bacteria. Stevia destroys that, okay? That bacteria doesn't like it being destroyed. When it does do that, it can cause some symptoms in folks that don't have good detox pathways open. If stevia bothers your body, you need to take a digestive enzyme with it and a detox protocol. Like we use our Biozyme. So if stevia upsets you, take Biozyme with it. 1 to 2 with your stevia, you'll have no problem. And then you should use the detox formula with it. Now, let's also tell you that stevia destroys parasites, okay? Stevia is anti-parasitic. Now, I will tell you that the vast majority of people, stevia has zero effect on their insulin levels, okay? Zero glucose spikes, zero insulin spikes, zero, okay? Some people have a very unique situation where if they've got overgrowth of parasites, overgrowth of yeast and candida, they've got these issues. Stevia sometimes can agitate the body. When the body kills those things off, that then can cause a spike in insulin from the stress response. So the answer is typically no. And if it does, that means there's something else going on in the body. I'm a huge fan of stevia. Okay, great question. All right. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So, all right, here's one. This is a great question. So Monica says, my mother has Crohn's. She was diagnosed with Crohn's. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something. Almost every time someone has Crohn's, they have an underlying infection of some kind. In fact, if you look, number 5 on my list of the 8 things that are root causes. In fact, I'll go through this list in a minute. That are root causes of disease are infections. Typically, there's some type of, let's just call it either a parasite, Monica, or some type of bacteria or even a virus. Cytomegalovirus can be something that causes Crohn's symptoms and Crohn's disease. So if your mother took the master microbiotics formula and she was getting a little bit dizzy, the reason why is when you take a good bacteria, listen, here's what's happening, all right? Here's what's happening, Monica. Somebody write in the chat the word, well, it's 2 words, die off, okay? Die off, all right? Listen. When you take master microbiotics, there's bacteria in here that kills off the bad bacteria, okay? There's always a battle in your body of good versus evil. Too many bad bugs and bacteria cause Crohn's, colitis, IBS, neuroemotional connections, skin issues, hormonal problems, weight gain, all kinds of problems happen when the bacteria is off. So when you take the master microbiotics, which I'll put up against anybody's probiotic on the planet, I know that we had to make this because there wasn't one that did the things that I needed to do to work in a global diversity of microbiomes. So when mom takes this and she feels dizzy or lightheaded, that's called a Herxheimer reaction, which is because it's causing die-off of bacteria, parasites, or fungus. So here's what she needs to do. If your mama has that going on, okay, if she has die-off going on, Monica, what we've got to do is put a binder in her body. What does that mean? When we kill off the bad bacteria, those bad bacteria have waste debris, okay? And that waste debris needs to be bound up and pulled out of the body. That's why we use the Detox Pro Plus with it, okay? So if you match the Detox Pro Plus with the Master Microbiotics, it is now a chelator and detoxifier. This is also anti-parasitic, anti-candida, antifungal. So you put these together and that helps with the die-off. That's what's going on. Listen, the Master Microbiotics is working. What I would do if she doesn't have this, go get some activated charcoal, okay? So it's at least something to start with. Take a dose of activated charcoal about an hour after she takes the Master Microbiotics and have her take 1 instead of 2. But if she can get the Detox Pro Plus, have her do the 2 and this, and that will help neutralize the die-off. Now, sometimes and most times when, let's say someone has a full-blown like disease or full disconnection of Crohn's, they're not producing the enzymes in their body to break up the biofilm and to deal with the debris. So if my patients have issues with Crohn's, colitis, IBS, etc., and we put them on a bacteria that fixes the gut, it is a non-negotiable in my world that I put them also on the Biozyme, okay? It's a digestive enzyme. You should be taking 2 of these if you have Crohn's, colitis, IBS, etc., 2 of these with each meal, okay? So I would do what I would do for mom if she was seeing me. I'd keep her on the Master Microbiotics. I'd put her on the Biozyme, and I would put her on the Detox Pro Plus. Mom needs a little bit more TLC so that she can get that broken up and those toxins out of her body. That's what I would do. Please let me know if you have any other questions about that, Monica. God bless you guys. Okay. Amazing question. Okay. Let's see. Vicky said, hey doc, I used a non-Gmail address and immediately got an email from you. Listen, I know censorship is crazy, you guys. Like, we just recently were able, like, I have hundreds of thousands of people that we communicate with daily, and we weren't able until recently to send emails out because censorship was so high still, because for whatever the reason is, the devil doesn't want us to communicate. So I'm glad that you're getting emails, and we are 100% rocking and rolling now with that. So make sure you guys join our email list so we can communicate, because there's things I can say in emails and videos that I can't say on social media because the censorship is so crazy still. Joanne says, hey doc, I got some beef liver supplements. Hopefully it's an organic beef liver supplement. Remind me of how many and when to take them. First of all, take it with your meals. Okay, so if you're ferritin, somebody write the word ferritin in the chat. Ferritin is your storage of iron. It is, in my opinion, one of the most important numbers to understand for your health. And ferritin needs to be well above a 50. The ideal range we like is 100 to 150 is a great range for ferritin. That's top-notch storage of iron. And if you don't have enough ferritin, you're going to have autoimmune issues, GI issues, fatigue, infertility issues, skin problems, nail issues, hair issues, teeth issues, thyroid issues, all kinds of problems. It's a big problem. So take it as directed on the bottle. So it depends on the dosage and the potency of the beef liver extract. Remember, guys, 3 doctors won a Nobel Prize in the 1970s, I believe it was, for giving beef liver supplements and curing and reversing anemia. Okay, that's a very simple thing to do. So you take it with your meal. Some of the beef liver, like I've got one that I take, you only have to take 2 pills with each meal. There's others out there that you have to take up to 6, which is fine. Just take them and take them with the meal, and do that consistently and frequently. I'm telling you, that is one of the staples, especially women. Women should be on an organic beef liver supplement without any questions. Okay, like that is a no-brainer. Okay. You guys make sure you put your questions down in the chat, okay? Melinda, good morning from Tennessee. All right, good to see you, young lady. Marlena says, good morning, doc, from South Dakota. Hadn't heard anything about this product, BioFreeze. Okay, listen, BioFreeze is a topical pain reliever. Yeah, it's all right. Nothing wrong with it. It doesn't hurt you. Don't get it in your crotch or your eyeballs, but other than that, you'll be fine. It doesn't fix the problem, but it can give you a little bit of relief. All right. What do you recommend? Let's see. Oh, okay. So, Amy. All right, listen. So, let me just tell you this. I get questions all the time about GLP-1s and GLP-1 journeys, okay? So let me just tell you this. Look, I have a love-hate relationship with GLPs. Semaglutide is a very safe and effective peptide to use for lots of reasons. The problem is that medication, or that natural peptide, has now been used and abused and turned into a drug. And I've had so many patients come to me after they've had issues with Retta that we don't do it in my practices. Now, if you come in here and you're doing Retta or Trizep or the other ones, okay, we're going to support you through that, but you've got to make lifestyle changes. Listen, folks, we get so confused about GLP-1s. Okay, look, did you know there's a yerba mate tea? I drink yerba mate tea because a study recently showed that yerba mate tea, especially when you take it with some konjac root fiber at least once a day, can improve your GLP-1 production by 41% without any symptoms, without any side effects. So there are lots of other things that you can do to control your insulin, which is what GLP-1s really essentially do. And it's so wild to me because when doctors are now seeing, how do I say this? They're seeing all these amazing health benefits of people being on GLP-1s, but there's a ton of negative side effects. There's 4,000 wrongful death cases right now alone. And people are like, well, you know what? I may die, but YOLO, at least I'll be skinny, which is crazy. But the reality is that that there's a lot of things you can do in your daily routine to get your insulin under control. And when insulin's under control, pain goes down, blood sugars goes down, hormone production improves, depression, anxiety, insomnia get better in most cases, okay? But I'm just telling you, I'm seeing too many risk and not enough benefit. Now, there are some people that come to see me that are on Retta and other things, and I help them manage and navigate through that safely. If you are taking Retta, listen to me, if you are taking Retta, or any other type of, let's just call it GLP-1 injection, okay? There's 3 things that you got to do. Like, these are non-negotiables, okay? Number 1, you must prioritize protein. And you got to start getting protein in some shakes as well, okay? Some protein shakes, because there's no way you're going to be able to get the protein you need, and you're going to lose muscle mass, and your muscle is metabolism, okay? Somebody type in the chat, muscle equals metabolism, okay? Muscle equals metabolism. If you lose your muscles, you lose your metabolism. That is a very big issue. And with Retta and all the other injections, what we're seeing is every 6 pounds of weight someone loses, they lose 4 pounds. 6 pounds, they lose 4 pounds of muscle. That's a problem. Because if you're over the age of 40, it's really difficult to get that back. So number 1, heavy protein. And when you eat heavy protein, you must, non-negotiable, 0 questions. I don't even want to hear about it. You must take a plant-based multi-enzyme, and it must be a real enzyme, okay? I use our formula called Biozyme, 1 to 2 of these with each meal. It helps break down and digest so that you can actually absorb the nutrients of the food you're getting, because when you're on a GLP-1, your GI tract slows down, meaning you do not absorb your nutrients. So it's like gas goes in your gas tank, but it doesn't go in your engine. That's why you feel nauseous, sick, all these other weird things that happen when you're on a GLP. So Biozyme is a non-negotiable, or some type of plant-based multi-enzyme. And it has to be plant-based. It has to be a plant-based in order to work in your acidic GI tract. So that's protein. And then you've got to get in your system the enzyme. And the third thing, like with every single person that's on a GLP-1, you have to understand you store your toxins in your fat. Somebody do me a favor and write that in there. Did you know that? You store toxins in your fat. Your fat cells in your body store fat. Did you know that a lot of times your body and your liver will not burn fat as fuel because it's too congested and there's too much too many toxins in your fat cells? So your fat, if it burns, there's all these toxins in it. So if you're on a GLP-1 or you're doing a rapid weight loss, which is what happens with these things, you've got to have binders and chelators and minerals in your body. You've got to have high dose minerals so you don't get the keto flu, okay? And you've got to have binders and chelators to grab the microplastics, heavy metals, glyphosates, and all the environmental toxins that are stored in those fat cells so you can push it out through your bowels. It's a non-negotiable. So every single patient of mine that is using a GLP-1, I put them on the Detox Pro Plus. Why? Because they have to have binders and fillers. This has 84 of the most ionic forms of minerals. That means you can absorb them. This is more absorbable than flake minerals, which are things like sea salts, right? Like Maldon sea salt and Icelandic sea salt and Baja gold salt, right? And those are more absorbable than rock salts, right? Like Celtic salt and pink Himalayan salt. Those are rock salt. So I put everybody on that. So I have a love-hate relationship with GLP-1s. I never bashed anybody. There's no shame in the game at all. None. Okay. But I will tell you that if you don't do these other things to reset your insulin levels and change your lifestyle around it, you'll be the skinny fat guy. Okay. And that's what's happening right now. And there's a lot of bad side effects of that stuff. There are other ways to do this. Okay. We teach webinars all the time on how to control your insulin. Controlling your insulin controls your GLP-1s. You know how they talk about Retta and all these other things turn the food noise down? Food noise comes from insulin. Somebody type that in the chat. Food noise equals high insulin. That's what it is. If we get your insulin under control, your food noise goes away. Okay. Very, very good. By the way, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys. I'm Dr. Eric Nepute. Make sure you guys are sharing this. Share. thumbs up, liking, and let me know where you guys are watching from so that I can give you a shout out. Andrea says, hey, Doc, I've been extremely phlegmy lately. What can I do to get rid of it? So if you're talking about respiratory phlegm, so first of all, spring has sprung here in the Midwest and all over the U.S. and all over really the globe. But now we have massive amounts of fungus, mold, and pollen right now. And people don't realize how big of a deal mold and pollen really is. It's one of the main drivers, the main root causes of your problems. By the way, there's so many infections that lead to diseases. I'll share that with you in just a minute. There's infections that lead to diseases that we know about that your doctors aren't testing for, and that's why you're dealing with autoimmune issues and cancers and all these other unexplainable things. So here's some things you can do for phlegm. If you have phlegm, let me grab something real quick. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to show you what you can take for phlegm, because phlegm is a big deal. All right. So, Andrea, if it's in your lungs, either get a humidifier, like those little Vicks humidifiers, or get a nebulizer. Okay. Now, if you get a humidifier that blows out steam, then inside the basin where you put the water, put distilled water in there, put some sea salt in there, because breathing in sea salt breaks up phlegm. Phlegm is biofilm, So phlegm is mucus, also known as biofilm, It's the same stuff. If you're phlegmy and mucousy, it's a biofilm, So go get a humidifier, put some sea salt in it. The more salt you put in it, the more like the mist is going to come out. Breathing that in, and then go get some povo, P-O-V-O, povo iodine. Put about 10 drops of povo iodine in the humidifier. It's going to stain it a little bit, but breathing that in is huge. And then go get, this is silver. We use a lot of silver in our practices. This is one we use called Argentine 23. It's a bioactive silver hydrosol. It's very, very fine particles, so it passes through the membranes real easy. I would put like a half a teaspoon of silver in that and breathe that in. It's a natural antibiotic as well. And then anytime you have any respiratory stuff, any lung stuff, respiratory breathing issues, vitamin D3, K2 is a non-negotiable. I take every day at least 10,000 IUs a day. During the winter time, I take 20,000 IUs of vitamin D3 every day. And I take K2 with it because I want to get, if I'm taking that high of a dose, I want to make sure that I'm not causing my minerals to come out of my bones. But like I just had a patient come see me yesterday. He just got discharged from the hospital. He's got really bad COPD. And even at the hospital, they put him on 50,000 international units a week of vitamin D, which is not enough. So I added another 10,000 IUs a day. This is D3K2. Andrea, when you have respiratory stuff, what I typically do is this is what my patients do. For 3 days with respiratory stuff, I do 100,000 international units a day for 3 days of vitamin D3, Then after day 3, so on day 4, now I'm going to go down to 20,000 IUs a day, and I'm going to do 20,000 until my symptoms are gone. If they don't go away in 2 weeks, Andrea, that's 14 days, 2 weeks, then we got to dig a little deeper. Something else is going on with the body, That's a really, really good thing to do, Awesome. Very good. Very good. You guys are the best. All right, so all right, this is a good question. Hold on, this one came in. I just got a text on this one. So the question is, Dr. Eric, what is monk fruit sugar? Okay, so where's that? Where's that? Oh, Marlena put it in here. Marlena says, what is monk fruit sugar? So monk fruit is a natural sweetener made from, monk fruit's fruit, The monk fruit sweetener comes from monk fruit. It's 0 calories. It's super duper sweet. That's my only dig with it. I use it in some of my formulas, but it's super duper sweet, but there's no blood sugar spikes with it. So it's a very safe sugar sweetener for you to use that doesn't cause insulin spikes or sugar spikes. So that's a good one. All right. That's a good one. Phyllis, good morning this morning. Phyllis, hope you're doing well. All right, let's see. Stacy says, I grow stevia every year and dehydrate it. I infuse it in vodka. Cheers. Stacy, send me some of that. That's amazing. You're the freaking best. I love you. I love all of our people here. All right. Cheryl says, hey, Doc, I've got very watery eyes for the last 3 or 4 months, and I've been using eye drops. Okay. All right. It's probably iodine. Hold on a second. Cheryl, here, let me, man, where's that? I just had a bottle. Give me 1 second. Let me get you something. I'm going to show you what you can do with iodine. All right. So Cheryl, check this out. Okay, so let's talk about iodine for just a minute. So you can go get yourself some iodine. This is actually an iodine swab, okay? But we use povo iodine and Lugos iodine. So what you do with iodine, you don't have to use this kind. You can use any kind of iodine. You're gonna test and see if you need it. So here's what you do. Get some iodine, put it on your forearm, okay? You can use the iodine drops, or you can use like this kind. So we're going to put, Cheryl, we're going to get some iodine, and we're going to really just kind of, you see that? How see my little circle of iodine? Okay, now I'm going to show you this in just about 10 or 15 minutes. But if this iodine gets soaked up in your body really, really fast, that means you're deficient in iodine. So usually if you got a lot of watery eyes, runny nose a lot of times that's an iodine deficiency. So let's get some iodine. I want to see if mine probably will go away, or won't go away, because I take quite a bit of iodine. Okay. But you can test that. So it's usually an iodine issue. Okay. All right. Put your questions in the chat. We'll get rocking and rolling with that. Okay. Katie says, how long does it take to get the results back on the DNA test kits? They sent out April 7th. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks because we run those tests. I run those in a lab actually in Norway. That's why we can do it for such an inexpensive price as well. Okay. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Okay, let's talk about, what do you want to know about this? So Mary says, what about leaky gut? What about leaky gut, Mary? Leaky gut is, so I put down here, there's, let me just tell you guys this. I'll go over them right now. I'm going to teach this today to a group of people that are coming in to meet with me. There are 7 main root causes. Now you can dig a little deeper with these, but these are 7 main root causes that we look at in functional medicine, functional neuro. Mary, leaky gut dysbiosis is one of them, but I'm gonna tell you guys these, and you write them down in the chat for me, okay? So one, and in no particular order, okay? One of the main root causes that we find problematic on so many people is we find insulin resistance, okay? Insulin resistance is a very big issue. So insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity, whatever you want to call it. Put insulin resistance in the chat, okay? That's a big issue. I'm telling you, if you can control your insulin, you can control your body, okay? It's one of the main things that we do with our patients here in our offices and virtually, and it's what we educate on a ton, okay? Like a ton. So insulin resistance is a big issue, all right? Number 2, toxicity. Now, toxicity or toxemia, put in the chat number 2, toxicity or toxemia is a root cause problem. And right now we live in a world where we've got microplastics and heavy metals and glyphosates and PFAS and forever chemicals and all kinds of environmental junk in our system that our body does not have the pathways to get rid of. It just doesn't have the ability to get rid of this stuff. So if you're not detoxifying or supporting detox, that's a root cause issue. By the way, Leaky gut a lot of times is caused by overabundance of microplastics in the body, okay? Low cell voltage, that's a big one. It's one of the things that most people have never heard of. That's a main cause of their problems. Your voltage of your cells, your body has a battery in it. Your cells have batteries in it. And if the battery turns down, then the cell doesn't work, your body doesn't work. That's a root cause. We can measure urine pH for that. Sympathetic overload, remember we talked about your brain. You got a gas pedal and a brake pedal, okay? Your brain's got a gas pedal and a brake pedal. If your gas pedal is stuck on go, then you can't rest, relax, grow, develop, digest, heal. Most people don't have a chronic pain problem. They have a brain problem. Most people don't have a problem with anxiety, depression, insomnia, mental illness. They have a brain dysfunction. So sympathetic overload is a big one. The brain is stuck in fight or flight. Another big one is infections. Somebody type in the chat infections. I'm going to share something with you. It's a paper that I just started writing, and I'll have it ready for next week. But listen to this. There are infections that cause your disconnections and your symptoms. For example, okay, did you know that that Epstein-Barr virus is one of the causes of lupus? Epstein-Barr virus is the #1 cause of Hashimoto's in the body. It is one of the causes of multiple sclerosis and lymphoma. So Epstein-Barr could be at the root cause of those problems. Many of you are treating the symptoms of Hashimoto's, the symptoms of MS, and the symptoms of other issues and not fixing the root cause. Cytomegalovirus is linked to vascular inflammation, cardiovascular disease. A lot of times cytomegalovirus can do that. HPVs are associated with certain types of cancers. These are infections. Shingles, so the Zoster virus can lead to neurological damage. You got bacteria like Bordella from Lyme disease can cause autoimmune issues like MS. You got H. pylori. This is a big one. H. pylori in the stomach is linked to thyroid dysfunction. You could have, let's see, what's another common one? Oh, this is huge. Candida, it causes hyperimmune responses, okay? Candida is known as the great masker. What about aspergillus? Aspergillus is a mycotoxin that completely destroys your immune system and can mimic things like cancer and autoimmune issues. You've got also Bartonella, which can cause vascular compressions. You've got different types of parasites that can cause and mimic cancers and other issues. So infections are a lot of people's problems, and your doctors aren't checking for that stuff at all. Never, ever are they checking for that stuff. So leaky gut is one of the main drivers of people's problems. Dysbiosis and low enzymes, leaky gut goes together. It's not that difficult to fix, and we talk about how to fix it all the time. And then you could have mechanical disconnections. Your body can be disconnected mechanically. And then spiritual, emotional issues. And we can measure those things in the body. So great question, you guys. Freaking really great question. All right, let's see what we got here. Ferritin is perfect. All right. Okay, great. Ben, thanks for reminding me. What about osteoporosis? Okay, so osteoporosis is so misunderstood. It's weird to me. If anybody's treating osteoporosis by taking calcium, man, you're screwing the pooch on that deal. So osteoporosis is an absorption problem. It's a digestive problem. It is a digestive problem. The body is not breaking down proteins in the manner it's supposed to. There's an enzyme called protease. All right, listen to me. Okay, so in order for your bone to get bigger and stronger, there are several things that have to happen. Number one, you have to have the raw materials. Your bones are made up of dozens and dozens of minerals and trace minerals, which, by the way, you can get those in your diet by having your daily dosages of organic sea salt and using the Detox Pro Plus because it has the minerals in it that your body needs for bone production. Well, the raw materials are like, if I'm going to build a house, Ben, I need wood, glues, screws, the raw materials, right? Well, I need workers to grab that raw material and put it into play. So those raw material workers in the body is something known as an enzyme called protease. Somebody write that in the chat, protease. protease. It's an enzyme produced by the body that once we get over the age of 30 starts slowly turning down. We get into our 50s and 60s, it's really, really low. You get low protease. Protease is like a cowboy, Ben. He's got a lasso and he sits by the bone and he grabs all the minerals that you've got and he grabs that and pulls it into the bone to make the bone thicker. It's like putting new shingles on a roof, right? Just making it thicker. And if you don't have that protease, those enzymes don't go into the cells, okay? Now, here's another kicker. How do you get those enzymes and minerals into the cells faster? You got to challenge the bones, okay? Bones need to be challenged. You know, one of the best things that women and men, but especially women, can do to help their bones other than working out and moving heavy weights. Like, ladies, you should be when you work out, you should push heavy weight. Heavy weight is what you should be doing. Don't hurt yourself, build up to it, but you need heavy weight. You need to jumping and landing literally straight-legged. Okay, straight-legged, so that your bones take that impact. It stimulates the osteoblast in the cells and makes those enzymes work harder and the minerals come into the body. Now, why do women have a higher risk of osteoporosis than men? There's a couple reasons, but the main one is a hormone called estrogen. If estrogen goes too low, that can cause some demineralization as well. But it's almost always lack of raw materials, so not enough minerals, not enough protein, and not enough enzymes. All my patients who have osteoporosis, Ben, I put them on the Detox Pro Plus. I put them on organic sea salt, half a teaspoon twice a day on their food, in their water, in their body. I put them on 1 or 2 of the biozymes with each meal so their body can take their high protein foods that I'm going to have them take, because they're going to be getting at least 100 to 110 grams a day to 120 grams a day of protein as a woman, and 150 grams or more a day of protein as a man. And it's hard to eat all of that with food, so get a protein shake, and you can do that once or twice a day. So I take the biozyme with that. That helps immensely. And then there are some other minerals that I add that are non-negotiables in addition to that for osteoporosis. So number 1, vitamin D3K2, non-negotiable. Vitamin D is a bone health hormone, okay? Vitamin D is not a vitamin, okay? We call it that. It's a pro-hormone, okay? If you don't have enough vitamin D, your hormones do not work proper. Forget about it, all right? So vitamin D is a pro-hormone. So you got to be on vitamin D3K2. That's a non-negotiable. That's Ben. I use the BioLimitless D3K2. That helps immensely for that. Then we also use magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is so important. It helps your minerals absorb. It helps your vitamin D. Here, vitamin D and magnesium are like peas and carrots. They go together like peas and carrots. They help each other absorb. They help each other balance things out. That's really important that we use that, okay? And then I also use zinc and copper. The ratio of zinc to copper, we typically want a 14-to-1 ratio or 15-to-1 ratio of zinc to copper in the body so your body can absorb its nutrients like it's supposed to. So those are the big things that we work on to deal with that, okay? That's really, really, really good. So that's osteoporosis. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. If you'll do that consistently, you'll do that consistently, challenge the bones with exercise, get the raw materials in your body, use a high protein diet, get the digestive enzymes and the other minerals in your body, you can reverse osteoporosis. There's no question about it. I mean, we do it all the time. It's not difficult, okay? Katie says her ferritin levels of iron, yep, you want it to be between 100 and 150. Okay, that's exactly right. That's the sweet spot, okay? That's the sweet spot, okay? Stacy says, hey, FY, you helped me and my family through COVID in 2020 by watching your videos. I believe I survived because of you. Thank you so much for that. You have no idea how much that means. I appreciate that more than you know. My family will be praying for you and your family. Thank you. Guys, you want to know something? People ask me all the time, what can we do for you, Dr. Eric? That's it right there, Stacy. Could you just pray for me and my family? My family's strong. My family is anointed for such a time as this. I couldn't do this if it wasn't for my family, but it's not easy. Okay. And it's okay. It's good though. I'm built for this and I love it. By the way, thank you. And she says, my family will be praying for years. You're doing right by these videos. Read your Bible every day and keep the enemy away. Amen, sister. And I do. Amen. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. That's for darn sure. Okay. Put your questions in the chat. You guys are awesome. Man, this is so good. Hey, Bridget, great to see you. Good morning this morning. Dean, good morning. Great to see you as well. Donna, good morning. Yes. Yes, great questions. Okay. Let's do this. Stacy says, hey, can the Detox Pro Plus or your tea cause Herxheimer effect? You know, here's what I'm going to tell you. We make our formulas with the idea that most people have all this stuff going on and you've never dealt with it. So we make our stuff so that it helps protect Herxheimer's. Like the Detox Pro Plus formula, the reason why I formulated it the way that I did, putting the minerals in it and the chelators. By the way, there is no formula on the planet that does that, Stacy. No one has ever figured out how to put minerals in the body at the same time of removing microplastics, heavy metals, toxins, chelators, all that kind of stuff. We figured it out. This works. So we put this formula together and we made it like a half a teaspoon a day is all you need, or a little less with most people. Half a teaspoon of this is great. And it stops a lot of Herxheimer's. But if your body is really, really toxic, yes, it can happen. And let me tell you something. That needs to get out of your system. A Herxheimer means that your body cannot detox properly. All right, let me help you guys with this, okay? So if you guys want me to talk about detox, type detox in the chat, okay? Type detox in the chat and I'll talk about it, because it's important to understand that you have detoxification pathways in your body. By the way, Cheryl, look, my iodine's still there, okay? If I was iodine deficient, that iodine would have absorbed, and that tells me I better get supplement in my iodine. So I take iodine about 3 days, 4 days a week, so I don't have any deficiencies in it. So let's talk about detox. Everybody's typing detox. Okay, so let me tell you where you detox from. Toxins escape your body, number one, from your bowels, okay? Number two, from your urine. Number three, from your skin. Number four, from your breath, okay? So if you're constipated, if you're not having a bowel movement at least once a day, then you got a blockage in your system. And now your skin, your breath, your urine is going to work harder. That's why people can break out. Their skin breaks out because their body's trying to detox through their skin because one of the pathways blocked. If one of those four pathways is blocked, the other ones are going to have more stress on them. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you have Herxheimer's in the skin, that's because your bowels are usually congested or your liver's congested. If you have really bad, like if your breath is kicking like Kung Fu Chicken all the time, your body's trying to detox through your breath because you can detox through your lungs. You know, when you sleep at night, sometimes people breathe out almost a liter of water, okay? Detoxing that breath, okay? And so if your breath is really bad, your body's detoxing. So the only time people have Herxheimer reactions is whenever there's blockages somewhere in those four pathways. So like, here's what I'm telling you. When you're going through hell, you don't stop. You keep on freaking going. And like, have you ever heard people go through like, you know, detox from like drugs or like withdrawals? You know what? A couple of days of that sucks, but you got to go through that so you can get it over with. Because once it's done, right? So we make the Detox Pro Plus set up so that you shouldn't Herx. If you do Herx, it's usually a liver issue. You're not drinking enough water. So what can you do to help your body? Follow the detox protocols that we teach. We teach things like how to drink certain amounts of fluids, warm fluids instead of cold fluids. That can help with Herxheimer's. Doing vagus nerve stimulation exercises, that helps with Herxheimer's. Taking the right probiotic, which is our master microbiotics formula, that helps with Herxheimer's. Getting your detox pathways to open up by moving your body, by doing deep breathing exercises, by literally brushing your skin or using a standing vibration plate. All of those things will help your body to detoxify, okay? That's what those will help you. So they shouldn't. And the tea, I've never had anybody on yerba mate tea have a Herxheimer reaction, But remember, at least once a day, I'll put this inside of here and drink it together. But that's what a Herxheimer reaction is. Really great question, Tammy. Really great question. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay, great. Susan, this is a common one. I want to talk about this. Susan says, hey, good morning. Thanks for all the wonderful information and taking time on these mornings and chats. Cheers. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Do me a favor and just share this with people, all you guys. All right. My daughter was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Do you deal with patients with this? Yes, every day. It's very common. And I've never heard of this syndrome before. Okay. So Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a lot more common than you think. EDS. Okay. Somebody type in the chat. EDS. E as in Eric. EDS. Okay. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. EDS is it's a genetic predisposition for connective soft tissue issues. When I say issues, I don't call it a disease because it's not really a disease. It's just where you're at. And if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, there's a whole lot you can do to help yourself. Okay. These are people that always say, I'm double jointed. Well, you're not double jointed. You're hypermobile because you don't have your muscles and ligaments are too lax. Okay. Now you need to know this because if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and you don't know how to take care of it, it can lead to a very miserable life, especially as you get older. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome patients have a lot higher risk of autoimmune issues. They have a lot higher risk of joint problems, needing hip replacements, knee replacements. A lot of them will get spinal issues. But if you will educate your daughter early on in a few things, this can change her life. Number one, she must, and it is a non-negotiable, she must understand that exercise is a non-negotiable for her. She needs strong muscles. If we get strong muscles, it'll take the pressure off the ligaments and the joints. Muscles move bones. Muscles stabilize bones and joints as well. So Ehlers-Danlos, work out. Get them exercising, 2, 3, 4 days a week. Get them on a strength training plan. Maybe one day upper body, one day lower body, one day full body. Just doing some strengthening stuff. But make sure they're working with good form. Because, again, when you've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, you got a higher likelihood of injuring yourself because of hyper range of motions with things, okay? So proper technique with resistance training, non-negotiable, okay? Number 2, minerals, and take some more flippin' minerals. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome patients, they do not absorb minerals as well as they should. Minerals are necessary for the conductivity of the electrical forces throughout the body, especially in a part of your tissue called the fascia. Have you ever heard of the fascia before? The fascia is the tissue that connects everything in the body. We literally, underneath our skin and before our muscle layer, we've got this entire full body wetsuit that's completely connected. And the fascia is what gets screwed up with Ehlers-Danlos patients. And you can get your fascia to relax if you have a lot of minerals. And the most important minerals are, number 1, magnesium glycinate. I put every one of my Ehlers-Danlos patients on at least 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. By the way, you can't really absorb more than 300 milligrams of magnesium in one setting, okay? So I take about 600 milligrams. I used to take 1,200 to 1,500 a day. Now we've got our new formula that has a lot better absorption. So I'll take 300 milligrams in the morning. I'll take 300 milligrams before bed. So I take 4 of these a day, all right? Now, Ehlers-Danlos patients, put them on magnesium. There's a non-negotiable, okay? And then trace minerals. You've got to get the trace minerals in your daughter's diet. Now, the trace mineral is in the Detox Pro Plus. There's 84 of the 92 essential nutrients the human body needs every day in the Detox Pro Plus, okay? You do that plus sea salt, and you got what you need for the day, all right? So you got to do minerals and then protein, okay? They need to have a high protein diet because protein is the only food source that helps repair soft tissue and keep soft tissue strong and healthy. So you got to put them on a high protein diet. And listen, once they get over the age of 30, you better put them on an enzyme because you will not digest those proteins unless you have a plant-based multi-enzyme. I take 2 biozymes with every meal. Some people can get away with taking 1, but listen, I'm 45 years old. I want to, the food I eat, I want to absorb, I want to use, I want to have energy. You guys, most of you guys know I go 24/7, 365. Like, and the only reason why I can go this hard and still look this good is by doing the things that I'm telling you. So, Susan, there's more to it, but that's a really good place to start. Okay. That's a really good place to start. Okay. Bridget, hey, Bridget, it's great to see you. Hope you and Todd are doing great. She goes, hey, what can someone do that has MTHFR? She says she's tried energy supplements, tried BioCell, and still can't lose weight, has even gone gluten-free. Okay, so if you are MTHFR positive, that means you have a methylation dysfunction in your body. What does that mean? That means that the genes that help your body detox and take your food and convert it to energy, especially your B vitamins, which is like the spark of life for your body, doesn't work like it's supposed to. Bridget, I have that. I have a double strand of MTHFR as well. So that means a couple things for me. I cannot have gluten. Number one, gluten is kryptonite for me. Glyphosate is kryptonite for me. So I try to avoid, as much glyphosate as I possibly can. Now, let me show you something. Bridget, have you taken my cell signal formula? The next time you're in my office, I'll get you a bottle of this. I made this particularly for my patients and myself and my family who all have MTHFR. This is made for MTHFR. Listen, I'm telling you, the global population, the Google will tell you that 40% of the population has MTHFR. I'm telling you, it's way higher than that. It's about 75% of my patients that I test have MTHFR. So Cell Signal was made for MTHFR, knowing that 75% of the global population has this. Most adults will do 3 of these in the morning, Bridget, and 3 of these at noontime. And this has been a game changer for people. It's got the L-methylfolate in it. It's got the methylated B12 in it. It's got the amino acids in it that help so that your body can use and go through the methylation system without having over methylation problems. This helps your body shift from a sugar burn to a fat burner as well. This has BHB in it. Somebody type BHB. BHB stands for beta hydroxybutyrate. It is a natural ketone stimulator. This is the biohack that you can take to trick your brain and liver into burning fat. You use this. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You take this in the morning, okay, with these guys. So I do 3 in the morning with the yerba mate tea. I can fast all day long without any issues. And so then at noon, I do another 3 of these and I start another one of these. I'll drink one of these from like 9 a.m. until around noon. And then I'll take 3 Cell Signal to keep my body burning fat as fuel and my liver cranking and my brain working. And then I'll take 3 more of these at noon and I'll do another tea. And that gets me going. I can fast. I mean, I could fast for days doing that. And we do it often. So, Bridget, that's what I would do. If you haven't used the Cell Signal, use the Cell Signal. It was made for that. Okay. Yes, Brandy, you're 100% right. Food noise equals high insulin. Don't forget that, you guys. Okay. Don't forget that. All right. Good morning, Miss Annie. Good morning, Julie in Minnesota. Good morning, Brandy down in Louisiana. Mary, good morning this morning in Canada. Michelle, good morning in Georgia. You guys, type your questions in the chat below, and we'll hit those things up. All right. Ann, good morning this morning. Mary, good morning. Mary says, okay, all right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about cholesterol, baby. So, Mary says, hey, my last blood test, my cholesterol levels were slightly elevated. I refused statins. Plus I'm on Synthroid and my TSH is 3.8, which is okay. It's not your TSH. We want TSH between a 2.5 and a 4.5. Okay. So TSH needs to be between a 2.5 and a 4.5. So you're fine with TSH. The thyroid and cholesterol do work together, but here's the thing though, and you're on Synthroid. All right, let's talk a little bit about that. So let me show you something over here real quick on cholesterol. Okay. What did I write on the back here? All right, let me show you something here on cholesterol. So first of all, let me help you again with the cholesterol understanding. First of all, you need to understand that cholesterol is an important compound that the human body makes, and it also, cholesterol is needed for everything. Okay. And if your cholesterol is too low, you don't live long, period. And I know there's a lot of controversy, but there's not. Like, there's a lot of just, you do whatever you want to do. My business model is to help people get healthy. My business model is not to give you a drug to lower your cholesterol, which can cause lots of problems. So remember, here's what we go with cholesterol, okay? So you guys, can you see? Here we go. So cholesterol, you got your total cholesterol, which means it doesn't really mean much of anything. Total cholesterol does not mean much of anything at all, okay? Then you've got your HDL, which is known as good cholesterol, LDL, which is known as bad cholesterol, even though neither one of them are cholesterols. They're both lipoproteins, okay? Then you got your triglycerides. Then you got your APO. Then you got your LPA. And then you got your ratios. So here's what's important, okay? APO is important. This is a VIP test. It gives you an idea of the circulating chemicals that can lead to clots and cause really cardiovascular problems. I'm a big fan of APO, okay? LPA is a gene, okay? I'm a huge fan of that because you get an idea of what genetic predisposition that you have based off of your cardiovascular risk. Those are good. Total cholesterol tells you jack diddly squat bananas. Not a darn thing tells you about total cholesterol. Completely irrelevant, okay? Completely irrelevant. Why? Because, man, I'm going to get some crap for this. These crazy cardiologists always jump my butt about it because they're trying to sell you all these drugs. But anyway, HDL, if HDL is above a 50, then you're metabolically flexible. HDL is high. It really helps cancel out the total cholesterol, okay? LDL is part of your cleanup crew. If you have toxins in your body, microplastics, heavy metals, parasites, candida, yeast, if your cortisol level's too high, if your vitamin D level's too low, if your testosterone's too low, if your estrogen's too low, if your progesterone's too low, if your thyroid isn't functioning right, then what's going to happen? You're going to get high LDL. Or if you eat a ketogenic diet with lots of good healthy fats in it, because this is the transporter. It's gonna clean up the system. Okay. If this is really high, it means liver stress. That's all that means. Okay. Cholesterol gets blamed for so much stuff it's not responsible for. And then triglycerides. This is important. Triglycerides are half fat and half sugar. Okay. Now, some of the numbers that are really, really important, write this down, okay? If you take your triglycerides and divide it by HDL, triglyceride divide by HDL, one of the most important metabolic numbers that you can use. As long as that number is below a 2, we're metabolically flexible. Congratulations. You don't have to stress out about cholesterols, and you sure as hell don't need a statin, okay? Another number that's important is your HDL and LDL ratio. That ratio needs to be below a 3.2, okay? Your LDL to HDL should be a 3.2. It's LDL to HDL, sorry. All right? That should be below a 3.2. If those numbers are good there, then you shouldn't worry about cholesterol. Now, let me tell you something about the thyroid real quick on this. Man, this is not a race worth a darn. Real quick on the thyroid. 1 second. All right. Now, look here. Man, that is horrible erasing. So here's how the body works. Your brain makes something called, holy cow, I just had a huge dyslexic moment there. So your brain, let me just draw the brain. That's your brain. Your brain produces something called, there's your thyroid in your neck. It looks like a bow tie, okay? So your brain makes something called TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, okay? That's your brain going, hey, thyroid, I need you to do something, okay? It's your brain saying, hey, thyroid, I need you to go to work and do something, okay? So then the thyroid now gets stimulated by this. Well, now the thyroid produces something called T4, okay? By the way, the four in here, it's iodine. The 4 stands for 4 parts of iodine, Okay, remember that. The 4 is iodine. That's why iodine is so important, especially if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. You need iodine, baby. And a lot of doctors really get that screwed up. Now, T4, here's what happens. T4 goes down to the liver. There's liver. It goes to the ovaries or testes. Okay, so let's just call that hormones. It goes to the kidneys and adrenals. Okay, so these 3 organs, it goes here, and then what gets kicked out is T3. Okay, and this is the most important number on your thyroid. And when you take Synthroid, okay, all Synthroid does is it stimulates TSH and gets a little stimulation to T4. This is what you need. That's why we like NP thyroid or Armor thyroid if you're going to use a medication. But here's what I do with my thyroid patients. I put every single thyroid patient on cell signal, every single one of them to stimulate the thyroid. You got to get off gluten if you have a thyroid issue because you probably have an MTHFR gene issue, okay? And then we put them on the Detox Pro Plus formula. We put them on a really good, strong carnivore ketogenic food plan, and we load them up on minerals. Those are really important things for you to do, okay? Great question, all right? Let's see. Susan says, hey, Doc, I'm on the Master Stack plus omega-3 and TUDCA. I am fasting till around 10 o'clock. Then I have a high-protein breakfast. Then I feel hungry shortly after. Grr, what's the reason? Well, you probably have good metabolism. So do this. Make sure, Susan, with your meals, like I said, they're high protein. Have a digestive enzyme with it. Because look, you can eat food, but if you don't absorb it or digest it, it's like putting gas in your tank that's not getting into the engine. And that's what a lot of people. That's what a lot of people have. Is they have food that's good for them that they eat, but they don't absorb it because they don't have enough enzymes and digestion in there. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Is it D3K2 in one capsule good? Another doctor says take it separately. Why? Of course they're fine together. I mean, they're found together in nature. When you eat things like cod liver oil or fish or whatnot, you're going to get vitamin D and K2. I don't know why somebody would say take it separate. Mary, you're totally fine. I've been doing this for 25 years. Never had an issue with that. Ever. Okay. Ever. Okay. Christine, Dr. Christine says, hey, Doc, I know the Biolimitless Neuro Reboot. Do I have one here? No, I don't. The Neuro Reboot formula has dihexa, tesofensine, and BPC 157. What are your thoughts on cerebral lysin intravenous for dementia, brain injuries, neurodeficits, etc.? So listen, how do I say this? I think it's okay. I've used it before. The reason why we don't use it regularly is because, number one, dihexa and tesofensine are like 99% absorbable orally, and they have a shelf life in the body, so they build over time, right? Cerebral lysin, you have to do it in an IV, or you have to nasally shoot it up the nose, and it's not easy to do from home, and compliance is not good with it. And you got to be consistent, and it's expensive. Okay, it's a lot more expensive than the Neuro Reboot. And the Neuro Reboot is if you think about it, it's a perfectly blended formula to help, number one, improve blood supply to the brain, because that's one of the big issues. And cerebral lysin doesn't do that. The BPC 157 helps improve blood supply and new blood vessels. It's called therapeutic angiogenesis. So the new formation of blood in the brain, blood cells in the brain, BPC 157 does that. Okay. Number two, dihexa. Dihexa makes the neurons wire and fire. It literally makes the synapses resynapse. It makes new synapses. Cerebral lysin can do the same thing. I've just not seen it work as fast. And I will also tell you that it's a lot easier for us to get a more sustained, longer absorbable dose with the oral dihexa. And then tesofensine. Tesofensine works on the neurotransmitter part of the brain and the gut. Tesofensine also stimulates the vagus nerve. So, cerebral lysin is just like one peptide to stimulate, conduction in the brain, if you will. I want to hit all three parts of brain dysfunction: low blood flow, and that's where BPC 157 comes in. Poor wiring and firing, low synapses, that's where dihexa comes in. And then low vagus nerve tone, that's where tesofensin comes in. So now we pair that with a high fatty good diet with a high omega-3 fish oil. We reduce carbohydrates in the body and sugars, and we do an insulin resistance reset protocol as well. We do all that kind of stuff. And hold on. It works really well, like really, really well. It just takes time, okay, to do that. It's a really great question, though. That's why I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it doesn't work for us in our practices, okay? Yeah. Stacey says, why would a doctor say that elderly shouldn't take K2? Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I don't know any other, like, listen, can I just say something? I mean this with total love and appreciation, okay? Like, I spend about 80% of my time explaining to people how their doctors got it wrong, and that's why they're in my office. And I don't mean to be rude, crude, or whatever, but let me just say this. I don't have time to explain it. And it's kind of like, you ever heard that phrase? Sometimes bees don't explain to flies why honey is better than shit. And I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? The question is, what do I think about mastic gum? Mastic gum is it's a natural resin that gets harvested and used. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's good for digestion. I use it in some cases to help with, like, if you get H. pylori. Mastic gum is really good for H. pylori. It has an antimicrobial effect to it. It's good for your teeth, okay, because it can kill off some of the biofilm in your teeth. This is mastic gum. It's an anti-inflammatory as well. You can get the powder, you can get the capsules. It's a little hard and brittle, but it's fine. I mean, Bessie, I think it's fine. I have no problem with it at all. Great question. Okay. Let's see. Put your questions in the chat, you guys. Good job. Okay. Harriet says, what do we need iodine for? So what do we need iodine for? Iodine is a really, really important essential mineral in the body. So iodine is necessary for liver function. It's necessary for metabolism. Iodine is necessary for thyroid function. And that's the biggest thing. When you look at the thyroid cascade, if you look at the number called T3 and T4, the 4 and the 3 in there is how many iodine materials are added to that. You need iodine for brain development. You need iodine, especially, during pregnancy for fetal development. You need it for hormone balance, especially for insulin. Iodine, zinc, copper are so important to have a balance in that. Prostate issues, breast issues, iodine is so important for all that kind of stuff, okay? When iodine's low, a lot of times you get hair, nails, skin, teeth issues, thyroid issues. I gotcha. Okay, we get cold intolerance, thyroid issues, etc., all that kind of stuff. Stacy, I was talking about Stacy. She was putting stevia in vodka. She's making a tincture of it. Yes, we make tinctures with vodka a lot too. I knew what you meant. I was just kind of teasing, but yeah, if you make some vodka stevia, send it over. I'll try it. Okay. Okay. Great question. Ann says, what's the best way to get rid of microplastics in the body? So the best way to do that is to support the detox pathways that we already have. Listen, when you take detox products, they do not cause your body to detox, okay? What they do is they help your body open up the detox pathways that are already existing or should be existing. It's not like they're opening up new channels or pathways. So we always talk about your body's blocked, not broken, and it's disconnected, not diseased. Well, microplastics are a serious problem. I mean, every human being has them in their body right now. They're stored in your fat cells. They get into your blood. They get into your brain. They get into your testicles. They move into the areas of high metabolic blood flow. So like liver, testicles, ovaries. Your brain is the number one organ that microplastics get into. And that's why we're seeing a lot of neurocognitive decline over the last, couple of decades is because of that. And so number one, you do the things to keep your body like detoxing. You got to be having a bowel movement every day. That's a huge one. You got to make sure your liver is dumping and decongested every day. You got to make sure that your skin is open and you can drain through your skin. You got to do some deep breathing exercises or get your cardiovascular up so you can detox through the breath. You've got to make sure you're drinking plenty of fluid so that you're urinating out enough. Making sure that those pathways are open first is important. Then what you need to do is then you need to use and work the chemistry from the inside out. Now, first of all, you got to try to avoid as many microplastics as possible because these little microplastics, people don't realize this. One of the big problems with microplastics is a microplastic acts like a sponge, okay? It grabs onto parasites and heavy metals and other toxins and gets it into the body, which really sucks, okay? That's why we have so many issues that we're seeing. And if I see heavy metals on a lot of people not getting out of their body quickly, it's usually because of the amount of microplastics in the system. So what do we want to do? We got to mobilize that stuff. How do you mobilize toxins in your body? You got to move your body. Okay. So saunas, heat, exercise, fasting. Fasting is one of the best ways to mobilize microplastics, heavy metals, and etc. When you fast, your body goes through something called autophagy. If you know how to spell autophagy, put it in the chat. Autophagy. Autophagy is your body's repair process. And fasting helps you get into autophagy faster, okay? And sometimes it's the only way that you can get into like real autophagy, which is cell healing, is through fasting. And fasting, there's some minimums to it. Like you got to fast for at least 14 hours to really get autophagy. The longer you fast, the better. Now there's a formula we created and called Detox Pro Plus. It has a bunch of binders and chelators. What's a binder? A binder grabs like a sponge. Okay. So we have micronized activated charcoal. What does that mean? We have teeny tiny little micro-sized droplets of activated charcoal in here. What does that do? That grabs plastics, heavy metals, metabolic waste from the bowels and the blood. When it's micronized like this, it does not block absorption of nutrients, minerals, or drugs. I get asked that question all the time. It does not do that, okay? Now, what else does this have in it? This also has in it activated charcoal. Activated charcoal is a amazing, I already talked about that. Micronized activated charcoal is in there. It's got zeolites in it. Zeolites are a metallic metal sponge, if you will. It attracts heavy metals and parasites into it, okay? So it's going to grab that stuff from the bowels and from the blood and get it out of the system. This also has fulvic and humic acid in it. Fulvic and humic acid are some of the best detoxifiers on the planet. Fulvic acid is like the Trojan horse. We spray coat this entire formula with fulvic and humic acid. That's one of the little tricks of this formula so that it can get uptaken into the cell. Fulvic acid is the Trojan horse, right? It's the way that we can get into the cell and pull some of the toxins out of there and dump some of the minerals into the cells that it needs to be. And then we put Shilajit. Shilajit is the shit, by the way. Shilajit's got 84 of the trace minerals in it that you need so that it backfills the body. Because when we pull out microplastics and heavy metals, we got to backfill that cell membrane with minerals and good fats. So lots of high-dose omega-3 fish oils will help as well. That's a big one. And then there are certain lactobacillus bacteria and bifidobacteria and that help the body break down microplastics and heavy metals as well. That's a big one. That's a real big one, okay? You can also eat cilantro. Cilantro is a really good detoxifier in the body, but we got to minimize our exposure to this. Sweating is such a good way to do it. In fact, the data shows that sweating is like the most powerful way to get at least microplastics that's stuck in the skin pathway for detox out. So there's a lot that you can do. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Sandy says Sandy says, hey, Doc, I love these lives. We can talk about the same thing over and over and over again and still learn about it. It's true. Really appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. Well, all right. Kira says, hey, Doc, I believe I have gout. Okay. Gout is caused by poor protein metabolism. Okay. Just somebody write in gout equals low protease. Protease is an enzyme that's produced by your liver and your digestive organs in your body. And when protease levels are low, you cannot break down protein. Okay. So when you eat protein, it breaks down. When you eat a piece of meat, it breaks down into amino acids, which make peptides. It breaks down. So amino acids, collagen, and then there's a waste product that's called uric acid. Uric acid is the waste product that you burn whenever you burn protein. Kind of like when you burn gas, carbon monoxide gets off, right? So the first thing you got to do whenever you have issues of gout and swelling and all that, this is real easy. You got a protease deficiency. I mean, there's zero question about that, okay? So if you have an active flare-up of gout, let me tell you what I do with my patients with an active flare-up of gout. Number one, I put them on this enzyme right here, okay, Kira, called Biozyme. It's a plant-based multi-enzyme, massively high with protease, okay? So what happens is when you get protease in your body, it breaks down that uric acid so it can move through the liver, move through the blood, move through everything. So what I do if you have a flare-up is I'll put you on 2 of the Biozymes in the morning on an empty stomach, okay, 2 with each meal, and then 2 before you go to bed. And I want it on an empty stomach so it can go and break up that uric acid a little bit more. I want it with a meal so it digests and breaks up the foods so we don't get more deposits of uric acid in your body. And you'll do that. That will clear things out quickly. But if you have an active flare-up of gout, you need to fast, okay? You need to be fasting, and you need to back off of wine, cheese, alcohol, and red meat just until that flare-up goes down. And then you got to fix the root cause of the problem. So put them on the Biozyme and then go get some tart cherry juice. Tart cherry also helps get uric acid out of the body. Usually take tart cherry. The recommended daily dose 3 times a day is really usually a good spot for that, okay? And then get on an anti-inflammatory diet. That usually helps. Gout's not difficult to fix. Once you have it, you need to just be aware of it, okay? You need to be aware of it, okay? That's a big one. Oh, by the way, listen, here's a great question. Someone said, replying to Kira, what are the chances of an allergic reaction to your Detox Pro? No, 0, zilch, nada. Doesn't happen. Not possible. If you're allergic to dirt, then you can get allergic to this. It's the most inert formula that's out there. We made it on purpose this way. You cannot have an allergic reaction to it. What happens is because it's helping the body detoxify, you can have a histamine response, an inflammatory response to the crap that's getting pulled out of your body, because as it's getting pulled out, some of that residual is going to be in your blood supply, okay? That's a really great question, all right? That's a really great question. Oh, good for you. Denise, she goes, hey, the addition of adding a little bit more fiber over the last few days has already helped. I'm now down 3 sizes today. That's awesome. Denise, congratulations. Fantastic. By the way, I'm a huge fan of fiber. We have a massive fiber deficiency in our planet. I use a fiber every day. It's called konjac, Konjac, konjac root fiber, konjac root fiber. Somebody type that in the bottom. Konjac root fiber. It's fantastic for blood sugar stuff. Okay. Fantastic for it. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Guys, put your questions in the chat. We'll get rocking and rolling with some more of those. For those of you that just joined, my name is Dr. Eric Nepute. I'm a functional medicine doctor, practice here in St. Louis, Missouri, and all over the world. We're all about helping people find the root cause of the problems. We have common sense solutions to common problems. It's not that difficult to get to the root of your issues. It's not. You got to be willing to put in the work and not just be like, oh, well, he's me. I feel like crap, and I've been diagnosed with this. Like, I get it. Okay. You can have a 30 seconds of the oh craps and now let's get to work and fix it. At least that's how I work and operate. I don't do the victim game. It's just not for anybody. Okay. Let's see. Good job. Good job. Good job. Annie says, hey, Miss Annie. Annie says, how do I get my body detoxification working again after a traumatic event? Well, one step at a time, sister, right? Like, Annie, the first thing you got to make sure is you're having one bowel movement a day, okay? If you're not, go use our osmolarity drink once or twice a day. The osmolarity drink is real simple. First thing in the morning, get about 4 to 6 ounces of warm water, put a half a teaspoon of organic sea salt in it, put a squeeze of lemon or lime in it, and then do the Detox Pro Plus. Do that in the morning and do that in the evening. It's got to be warm water, okay? Do that consistently. That'll get the minerals into the bowels, the water into the bowels. It'll keep your bowels moving, okay? You got to make sure your skin is detoxing. Sweat. Like, just start sweating. And if you don't sweat, like, we got to get you in a position where you can. Make sure you're doing deep breathing exercises, and make sure that you are that you're drinking enough fluids to hydrate your system. And go slow. Start slow, like it's baby steps, right? And then get your body moving a little bit. Like, our body detoxifies through skeletal muscle movement. Our muscles are one of our biggest sponges. They soak up our glucose when we use them, which is why most of us have insulin resistance and other issues. And then they pump out, they push out the toxins whenever you move them. So we have an entire 45-day detox program. We call it the Toxic system. It really helps people. So Annie, I would encourage you to start with that. Okay. And listen, with my patients, here's where I start most of my people on. All right. You start wherever you feel comfortable, but where I start most of my patients is on what I call the triple stack. It's the cell signal formula. It gets the cell voltage to turn up. It opens up the detox pathways and helps your body shift from a sugar burn to a fat burn. This is a great place to start. Okay. Because it works on multiple systems of blockages and disconnections at the same time. Okay. And then I put everybody also on the Detox Pro Plus right out of the gate, Annie. Why? Because it gets the minerals in the body that you need. And when I was going through my naturopathic school training, I learned that low minerals were the root cause of almost all disconnections and diseases. And it helps your body detox. So 2 birds, 1 stone there. And then listen, 95% of the global population, Annie, has gut abnormal bacteria. So get on the Master Microbiotics, start taking 2 of those a day. And then, man, start drinking some yerba mate tea, get your body moving, and let's just let the process start working. Like, your body can heal from all things, you guys. Like, you can heal from all things, okay? Julie says, hey, will the triple stack be the ticket? I've been on it for 6 months, no change. I did sleep test and we'll get the results back. Okay. So, all right. First of all, understand this, please. Everybody listen to me. And I want everybody to write this in the chat. You cannot out supplement a crappy lifestyle. You cannot out supplement a crappy lifestyle. Please put that in the chat. As many of you guys can, put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. You cannot out supplement a poor lifestyle. Okay. So health is a balance of your physical, chemical, and neuro-emotional well-being. It's the triad of health. So you're working on some of the chemical components, but we got to also look and go, okay, Julie, what's your diet like? How many meals a day you eat? What do you eat? What's your hydration look like? How are you hydrating properly? Are you getting at least 2 liters of good, healthy fluids a day in your body? Are you getting sea salt in your system? Using half a teaspoon once or twice a day in your diet? How about rest? Are you going to bed at least before 10:30 every night? Are you trying to sleep in a room that's cool, that's dark, and doesn't have a lot of noise behind it? Are you moving the body? You get up with the morning sun and go outside and kind of just sit and be and breathe and let that sun hit your body and stand barefoot in the grass? If you're not doing those basic fundamentals, then you're not. Julie, here's what I want you to do. Listen to me. Julie, listen. I'm talking to you and everybody else that's in the same situation. I have a free program on our website. If you go to biolimitless.com, we have a free program there called the BioQuest. It's our BioLimitless Bootcamp. It's our BioQuest Bootcamp, okay? It's a 30-day program where you get a video from me every day for 30 days teaching you how to think well, sleep well, move well, eat well, breathe well, supplement well so that you can be well. It's a free resource for you. Go put that into play. Please understand that just trying to out-supplement lifestyle changes doesn't work. You cannot out-supplement a crappy lifestyle. Put that in the chat. And then if you're in the fight or flight response, then the big thing with being in the fight or flight response is you've got to be doing vagus nerve exercises. If you're not doing vagus nerve exercises, we got some issues, okay? Good morning, brother. I'll be done in about 15 minutes. I think I got everything pretty much set up for what we're going to do this morning. We're getting ready to have one of our becoming biolimitless experiences in here. We've got a couple folks that have come in from all around the country that are going to come in. We're going to do brain scans and nerve scans, and we're going to do some blood testing, and we're going to look at their chemistry and just all kinds of cool discovery about you. So Julie, please put some of those other things into play as well, and keep me posted, please. Okay, please. All right. Charlotte, can somebody herx from nicotine? You can. That's why we always recommend low dose nicotine. The therapeutic dose is typically 7 milligrams, but if that's too strong for folks, then go a little bit lower. Start with 3.5 or even do 1 milligram. Okay. Start slow and build your body up, because nicotine can cause detoxification, because it speeds up, blood flow and etc. So it's really, really good. Okay. We've got Sven. Sven says, hey, can cell reset be a good thing for people who struggle after post-COVID? Hell yeah, brother. Okay, listen. I made this product line during the pandemic because of what was going on and what we were observing in our practice. We see people's blood sticking together now in a way that they have rouleau patterns, which is thick, sticky blood. The Detox Pro Plus was made for that. We're finding things like graphene oxide and parasites in the body. The Detox Pro Plus was made for that. Okay. The cell signal formula was made because so many people's voltage in their cells have gone down. The SARS-CoV-2 virus is an oncogenic virus. What does that mean? When that virus attacks your body, it turns down your immune system. We got to kill off the spike proteins. So guess what we do to kill off the spike proteins? We've got bacteria in here that will kill off spike proteins, and we have the digestive enzymes. So Sven, we put them on the triple stack plus the biozyme. That's what I start almost every single one of my long hauler patients on, and they do well. They do very well. There's a lot of you guys that are on here that are some of my patients with long haulers as well. So very, very good. Great question. Yes. So iodine deficiency in toddlers. What do you recommend? Supplementing iodine. Listen, cod liver oil is a really great thing for all kids to be on. I also will tell you that you can get some iodine, and you can get some Lugol's. Lugol's iodine is really, really, really good to deal with that. So I'm a big fan of that. Where do you get pure minerals? So we put pure minerals in here from Shilajit. Shilajit is the best way to explain it is fossilized flora and fauna. Okay, like it's broken down rock that is mineralized from plants that have fossilized, and Shilajit is amazing. We get ours from a very unique and special place, and it's very similar compounds to things like ivermectin in the body. So we use Detox Pro Plus, and then I use a lot of organic sea salts, Maldon salt, Baja Gold salt, lots of good healthy salts. Those are the things that we do. Okay. So, Brian says they want to give my wife an iron infusion. If her iron is really, really low, iron infusions can save your life. The problem is most places don't do iron infusions properly. In my offices, we do iron infusions with vitamin C and B vitamins. We get a much better therapeutic response than just doing iron. And that's like just filling up the bucket when there's a hole in it. Most people have iron issues because their ferritin's too low. Brian, you should get her blood tested. Look at her ferritin levels. See what ferritin looks like. And then if she's got liver issues and digestive problems, if you got biliary and gallbladder issues, she's never going to have good iron because the bile and the liver circulate that iron. Iron never really leaves your body well, a little bit does, especially women when you have a cycle, but it recycles and regenerates in the system. Okay. So Margaret says, my daughter has spinal stenosis and a herniated disc. We see that stuff every day. She also suffers from migraines, could be liver, autoimmune. She's on medications, but wants to know what she can do to address the root cause, not what she's doing. Margaret, let me know where you guys are, what part of the world you live in. We need to get her a good chiropractor or an osteopath in that area. Doing some spinal decompression therapy would be beneficial. Finding the root cause of the migraine is essential. Usually it's a liver issue or a toxicity issue with migraines. Usually it could also be MTHFR. And that just means there's an enzyme she's not producing, but spinal stenosis is not a difficult thing to deal with. You know, last year alone, in just this little office I'm in right here, we saved our patients over $4.5 million of surgeries they didn't have to get. Okay. So that's a pretty big deal. Perfect. Okay, you guys, we got to get going here. So first of all, how many of you guys enjoyed this conversation this morning? Okay. Yes, Dr. Christine, you cannot out supplement a poor lifestyle. That is for darn sure. So how many of you guys enjoyed this? Okay. Good. I'm glad. Give me a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this. Please make sure you guys are sharing this. Some of you just asked me a question. Okay, look, if you want to find out where we get the yerba mate tea, this is the link for the yerba mate tea and the konjac root fiber. Take a screenshot or somebody put that in the chat for me, please. Okay, put that in the chat. That's where I get that. Okay. Some of you guys just asked about virtual visits or in person. You guys can go here, neputewellness.com. All right, neputewellness.com. You can find those there. So go like, subscribe, get the notifications there. And then obviously you guys know if you're trying to get our formulas and all the things we do with BioLimitless, just go to biolimitless.com. We got a couple of big promo codes going on right now still as well. So BIO30 gets 30% off. That's a huge deal. All right, guys, I got to get going. We got a bunch of people getting ready to show up here at my office. Hope you guys have an amazing day and a great weekend. Please like, subscribe, share, get the notifications. Remember, every weekday for the most part, 8 a.m. until 8 a.m. I go live for a half hour to health. And then Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., we do an AMA just like this. I usually do another one Fridays. And if we are not traveling, I try to jump on and do a live with you guys here on a Saturday as well. So appreciate you guys more than you know. Have an amazing, amazing rest of the day and a freaking rock star weekend. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Nepute. Have a great day and be well because you are. Cheers. Take care, guys.